federal lawsuit was filed earlier this week, I've been reviewing jailhouse video. A Michigan man was arrested, tried to run, and resisted deputies. There was a warrant out for his arrest. The suit is all about what happened inside the jail. A warning, this footage is disturbing. Caught on camera, around midnight you see Sheriff's Office staff smash Nathan Ling's head against the intake counter. His arms were restrained behind his back. 3 CCSO staff holding him down, his face bloodied, on the floor, still kicking his legs. Moments later, another person appears with his jail scrubs. Now 5 people are restraining Ling. The lawsuit claims one of the deputies took a photo with other Sheriff's Office staff posing with Ling, but the whereabouts of that photo and cell phone are unknown. WVLT journalists did not see that in these hours of videos. Shortly before 1 in the morning, Ling is taken to the inmate intake room. He lay on his stomach, not moving for an hour before going into fetal position. The camera shows the door opened at least 5 times throughout the wee morning hours, people checking in on him. By 7:15, he is getting medical attention. The lawsuit states his injuries were so severe he had to be airlifted to UT Medical Center for a collapsed lung, face fractures, and a traumatic brain injury. Former Deputy Justin Crabtree is charged by the TBI with aggravated assault and official oppression. Sean Brown and Dakota Williams are charged with official misconduct, official oppression, and assault by the way of presentment. The Campbell County Sheriff tells me Crabtree and Brown have been terminated. Williams is on administrative leave without pay. We also asked about Ling's booking mugshot and received an email saying there is not a photo of him due to him being released to the hospital shortly after being brought in. The $25 million case against Campbell County and 4 others is expected to go to trial in 2022.
That trial. Our Jared Austin was in the courtroom listening all day. No cameras allowed. But Jared, you were able to tell us what happened. You heard from both sides and a lot of witnesses in the case.
Yeah, Nathan Ling is one looking for money from Campbell County, that $25 million number. His legal team isn't going after the individual deputies and correction staff, but the entire county. They say it's because the deputies were not trained properly or de-escalation practices and giving some medical attention they need. Didn't get that training to do that. Now, Ling was brought into the Campbell County Jail back in 2019. This after they found out he was driving in a stolen vehicle and had a felony warrant out for his arrest in Michigan. Now, police say he was combative when officers tried bringing him into custody. The lawsuit says when Ling was in the jail, he was beaten up by deputies in the intake room and left without medical attention for several hours. When he was checked on hours later, Ling's legal team says he had a collapsed lung, multiple facial fractures, a broken arm, and traumatic brain injuries. And then that brings us to today. Ling's attorneys bringing several witnesses to testify. One of them was Justin Crabtree. He's one of the 3 deputies mentioned in the suit. He says he wished he would have handled this differently. He doesn't remember having any training on de-escalation and wishes he could have been trained for this. Another witness was a former correction officer that night. He says they didn't have much hands-on training for all this, but they did have some paperwork to fill out before starting. He also wishes they could have done a little bit more to help out Ling too that night.
All right, how long do we suppose this trial is going to go, Jared?
You know, the judge is really hoping for the end of this week to be done by Friday, but the legal team for Ling has several witnesses. They said right around 27, so we could see this spilling over into next week as well. Now, one thing to note that the defense attorney actually brought up, Nathan Ling is not in Knoxville for this trial. He's actually back in Michigan. Ling's legal team is just saying that he has permanent brain damage for what happened in 2019, and he's really not able to handle the stress of this trial.
Jared, thanks.
Budget Amendment 101 General Fund funding for the fiscal year 24-25. Whereas, in the U.S. District Court of the Eastern District of Tennessee on February the 5th, 2024, a judgment of $6 million was awarded against defendant Campbell County, Tennessee, in case number 320-CV-233, filed by plaintiff Nathan Ling on June the 1st, 2020. And whereas the awarded judgment of $6 million exceeded the county's insurance coverage threshold of $2 million, leaving a $4 million balance to be provided from county funds. And whereas in May of 2024, the county filed post-trial motions seeking judicial relief as to the verdict rendered, with a hope that such motion at a minimum would result in a reduction in the payment awarded of $6 million. However, on June the 18th, 2024, the presiding judge issued an order denying the county's motion for relief and ratifying the action of the jury, inclusive of judgment awarded of $6 million. And whereas on August the 14th, 2024, an arbitration hearing was held wherein the plaintiff agreed to waive the interest to be paid on the judgment that had occurred since February the 5th of 2024. And also forego seeking additional compensation from the defendant for legal costs incurred by the plaintiff, with a stipulation that such concessions require the county to remit full payment of $6 million judgment on August the 23rd, 2024. And whereas, in considering the possibility of appealing the judgment, the county became aware that doing so required the county to obtain supersedeas bonds and a irreversible letter of credit to be filed with the court by August the 23rd, 2024 at a non-refundable cost of approximately $110,000 for these items, and the county would incur legal representation costs of approximately $35,000 beyond the legal costs incurred to date. And the county would be required to pay interest on the judgment from February the 5th, 2024 through the conclusion of the appeals process, and the county could be required to pay the legal costs incurred by the plaintiff to date, and that would be incurred in the appeal process, both of which the plaintiff has agreed to waive in full payment of the original judgment of $6 million is paid by August the 23rd, 2024. And whereas, although the county commission disagrees with the decision of the jury and the court in awarding the plaintiff a judgment of $6 million, affording additional surety costs, interest costs, and legal fees of approximately $1.2 million for the portion of the judgment not covered by the county's insurance, and authorized payment of such judgment by no later than August the 23rd of 2024, in accordance with the deadline established by the arbitrator, and now therefore be resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Campbell County, Tennessee, assembled in regular session on this 19th day of August, 2024, Section 1, the County General Fund is hereby amended as described in attachment of Exhibit A. That attachment has committed to the purchase of $900,000, which we've done early, and the unassigned, undesignated fund balance of $3,135,000 for a total of $44,035,000. Okay, I have a motion by Atkins, I have a seconded by Gobert. I'd ask for public opinion, saw none. This time, vote please. You're voting to accept the check. To pay the debt, yes sir. Does anyone wish to change their vote? Show the vote, please. 10 yes and 1 no. That resolution has passed this body. Moving on.